Today I have with me two Danessa Myricks primers that I want to put a lot more focus and attention on. I have her iconic Water Powder Serum that I've used in several videos, and I also recently got her Moisture Repair Balm. And because I am someone that's combo to dry skin, I really wanted to test these two together, see how they work with basically all of her primers in the Danessa Myricks cinematic universe. I'm going to start by priming my face with, not even priming, but just starting to prep my skin with the Tower 28 spray. Whew, just to give my face just a wee bit of hydration. Before we get into it, usually for skin prep, I will do like a hydrating spray as so, and then use like a hyaluronic acid type serum or something along those lines, and then put on like sunscreen, primer, whatever, right? But today is a very low cast day. I'm going to be doing a lot of filming, and I have a podcast that I have to film later with a guest, so I'm going to be relatively indoors, so I'm going to use that to start. So I'm just popping open the Moisture Repair Balm Serum. This is what it looks like. Her very sleek case. There's a lot of great technology. Now I hear that this is very, very thick, occlusive type, not occlusive, but it's just a very thick balm that is very reminiscent of like Vaseline or something of the sort. So I'm assuming that it's less is more. So not gonna go too crazy, but I do want to secure some moisture and hydration in my skin. You know, I guess you could say I have aged skin, I guess. And I just, yeah. I'm gonna just use a little bit more water here. And I'm gonna go right into the reservoir here. I'm gonna take away a bit, so that's how much I have on the spatula. Put some in the back of my hand, and I'm just going to layer up slow. I don't want to just put like a ton on my face and create like an oil slick. And I'm just going to start by placing some around the eyes. The eyes are really where you need to moisturize, under the eye bags, because that tends to be the driest area, thinnest skin on the face. And definitely if you have like fine lines, definitely you want to hydrate. I assume no matter what the skin type, you want to have some hydration in your face. How the formula feels, it feels just a tiny bit grainy here. So I'm using a really thin layer. You can even see like in the back of my hand how shiny that is. And some of the ingredients, it includes like jojoba oil, definitely shea butter. I didn't even need to know. I didn't even need to read that to know shea butter's in here. A lot of hydration formulas that are like balm types will have shea butter, sunflower oil, squalene, typically popular in a lot of these type of products. Centella, which is great. Centella is an agent that really is calming to the skin. So if you have inflamed skin, you'd want something that has like centella in it to help calm it down. A lot of Korean skincare I find, and a lot of my favorite Korean skincare products tend to have some centella in it. So as you can see, I put like a really, really thin layer all around. I don't think you have to go like super duper heavy. I might just take a touch more of the balm, like barely any, and I'm just gonna put just a touch more under my eyes. So it's a little grainy to touch at first, and so you kind of like blend it out and smooth it out around the face. Then it gets much lighter. And I tend to be really dry around my nose as well. So I looked pretty, you know, pretty lubed up, pretty moisturized there. And I'm going to leave it at that for the moisture bomb. Now, my final prepping step before I get into the makeup is going to be the Water Powder Serum. I have talked about this plenty of times. I really like the feel of this formula. I think it does a pretty decent job in sucking up oil, so you don't look like an oil slick. But if you're looking for like super snatched, like high octane, you know, moisture sucking, oil sucking type power, blurring balm plus that I feel like is probably the best powerful combination. And lucky for you, I'm doing all that today. So I'm taking some drops and I'm going to place majority of that along my T-zone, because that is where oil breakthrough will be first. And since there is a lot of oil in that moisture bomb, like, you want the hydration, but you also want your makeup to stay in a place. I'm just gonna do a quick eyeshadow look. I have my little Sydney Grace palette here with some Sydney Grace singles, and I want more of an orange theme. So basically where you see that L shape going down, you'll see like the color house of like different kinds of peaches, orangey shades. Those are all the ones I'm gonna attempt to use. So I'm going to go with the one right at the, I guess, your right, my left top corner there. Is that right? Anyway, I'm gonna go with the matte shade and just kind of do like an overall transition shade, I guess. Just kind of around. It's very, very faint color, but it'll just act as a little bit of a wash. I did put a little bit of eyeshadow primer, and it's an eyeshadow primer that's supposed to help bring out more of these shimmer shades. I'm just going to kind of sweep back and forth on one eye and do the same for the other. So I took like a really big fluffy brush just to kind of blend out that transition shade a little bit. And I'm going to go in now with a little bit more of a packing brush. This is not actually the most packing one I can use. Yes, I'm going to use this packing eyeshadow brush, and I'm going to go in with one of the shimmer shades, one of the more shimmery peach shades, and I'm going to pack that on into the center of the lids. And I don't know if I will really get to show how this color can shift. A lot of the Sydney Grace shadows that I tend to purchase tend to have some form of duochrome shifting capabilities, so you get like 2 or more color shifts within it. This one definitely has more of a golden shift. I'm just trying to pack that onto my lid space, just kind of back and forth like so. Now I'm going to go in with a little bit more of a smaller defined blending brush, and I'm going to go with the darkest shimmer, that's peach there, and I'm going to aim that towards the outer corner and just try to make that a little bit of a V. I'm most curious about what this shade is going to look like on camera. So I'm just going to kind of wiggle and massage back and forth, and then just slowly try to build that up. And then just keep kind of wiggling back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And there's my eye look. Now to get into the face. I'm gonna go in with my blurring balm. This is the tinted blurring balm. I'm in 8.5, or at least that's the shade I choose to use. I hope there will be even more of an expansion of this line in particular, because I feel like this could be a touch darker, but shade 9, I believe anyways, is a little too dark for me. So there's what it looks like, and I'm actually going to use the Danessa Myricks brush. And it's a really nice Kabuki brush. I like the teardrop design of it, and it actually does get out quite a bit of product quickly. So I'm just kind of popping it out of its box there, and it comes with its own little stand that it can rest in. And I love the grip of it. It's nice, sturdy hands. Get sturdy hands with this, so I'm going to dip right into the product, and I'm just going to smear all over my face. And it just gets a wide surface area very, very quickly, which I appreciate. So if you are in a particular rush, I'm not today. I'm taking my sweet time. I got quite a bit of time before I have to tape for my podcast, so this is kind of just like relaxing into my routine there. And I know with Danessa's products, you could use this along with like her Yummy Skin like tint and the like, but I feel like this is pretty good coverage for foundation purposes, to be honest. And to be honest, I'm not really planning to use that much thicker of a product. I'm just going to use that as my overall base. I'm not going to only use one Danessa Myricks cream blush. I'm going to use two. I have Golden Hour, which is really, really gorgeous, especially in the sun. It's aptly named. And I'm also going to use a little bit more of a lighter orangey shade, which is Bellini. And I'm going to attempt to do more of a gentle ombre effect, if you will. A little bit of a painted by Esther technique, but not really today. I'm going to just get my blush brush there, just dip a little bit to my product. Put a tiny bit on the back of my hand, and then just start back and forth a little bit. Do like the formulas of her cream blushes, especially the more pigmented shades. The one that I've been having a hard time in securing is, I think it's called Prima Donna. It's like this beautiful shock pink. I have a lot of pink blush shades, but I really wanted Danessa's, but my Sephora is always sold out of it, so I just make do because I have like 50,000 other blush shades. Actually going to use a little bit of bronzer. This is a non-Danessa Myricks product, but this is Rhode's little pocket bronzers. I have the color Drench. Just gonna warm up around the face a little bit before I lay down any more blush. Just gonna do a little bit. Just a teensy bit, and just kind of blend out. I have a little bit of a more dense face brush here. This is actually one of Sydney Grace's brushes. Sydney Grace has a lot of great stuff. And I'm just going to blend that out just to give me slight warmth and definition. Going in with Golden Hour, which is more of a shock An orange, gonna put a little bit on the back of my hand and just layer that on top of Bellini, and then just go a little bit higher on the cheekbones there. I'm going to take a little bit of, I think I'm going to take a little bit from that big fluffy, not fluffy, but dense brush that I used for my bronzer, just to kind of help blend that out a little bit more. I'm kind of blending that into the bronze that I put on, and it wasn't that much anyway. I suffer from a wee bit, just a wee bit, of blush blindness. And I'm going to use a little bit of Danessa Myricks Lift, Smooth, and Correct Concealer. I'm using 14, which is golden. I'm gonna lay that around my eyes. So just a little bit underneath. I am going to use Danessa Myricks, and this is the Yummy Skin Liquid Blurring Balm. Powerful, powerful stuff, mind you. For demo purposes, I'm going to use it as it's instructed, doing a T and a full circle around the face. And then I'm going to use her foundation brush, and I'm going to just pat in everything. Everything. I'm just going to pat, pat, pat. And that's supposed to be your powdering step. That's to lock everything in. My face still feels very much hydrated. And hopefully with this locking everything in, the makeup will look pretty much the same hours later. So that is my finished look. I'm going to give this some time to cook, you understand? Right now, just showing you my little Fitbit. It is 3:30 right now. I'm gonna come back much later once I've, done my errands and stuff, have filmed my 2-hour plus podcast with my guest, where I'm more like guesting on her podcast kind of a thing, and I'll come back to you and show you what the makeup looks like, if there's oil breakthrough, how the moisture balm performs underneath all of this. I wanted to do a time check-in. We're at 8:23 in the evening time, so I have been sweating profusely because it is hot. It is hot. Woo! It's like the heat turned up to infinity from the time that I did the initial filming of the makeup till now. I also wear my glasses. I'm a glasses wearer normally, so I don't know if it comes through that there's a little bit of line demarcation, but for the most part, at least the makeup is still relatively on the face. I'm under a lot of hot lights right now. I'm sweating everywhere. I just filmed a 2-hour plus podcast, and I don't know if I have any more in me to talk, but this is what the finished look is. So you let me know your thoughts about the whole universe of Danessa Myricks primers, in particular the Moisture Balm. The Moisture Balm is lovely, but I do think less is more. Definitely if you're of older or mature skin or just have dry, crepey skin, I think if you hydrate your face with some water first, and then you just add just a little teaspoon, like just a little tip of that moisture in the dry areas, you will probably find a lot of success with it. And I got no notes about her other primers. I love the Water Powder Serum down. It is very good for what it does, but I'm sweating profusely right now. I'm hot. I'm tired. I want to eat. So let me know your thoughts. And if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comment section below. Till the next video.